So look, this is part 3 of how I ended up doing 5 years in New York State. So I think I left off where I said I was in the county for about a week. I called home and niggas was telling me like, yo, they just locked your co-D up. For those of y'all that don't know what co-D means, that's co-defendant. That means the person who was with you in your case. So I'm like, lock my co-D up. So I'm like, okay. So now another week goes by. I have court the next day, right? So in the county, they have like these fucking what's some shit's called? It's like a radiator, but you could talk through the whole. All right, so let me see if I can flip this shit. So like up there, right? Let's say that's my ceiling. I can talk to that, and the people upstairs can hear me, right? So I'm hearing the cell next to me. I'm hearing him talk to somebody, and I hear the nigga say, "Hey, yo, is Bills down there from Glen Cove?" That's me. So I'm like, "Yeah, what's up? Who this?" So he like, "Yo, this is you know what? I'm watching Power, so we gonna call him Tariq. Tariq. Like, yo, this is Tariq. How am I your code D?" So I'm like, "Nigga, what? I don't know, nigga." I said, "You got court tomorrow?" He said, "Yeah." So I said, "I'll holler at you in court." Boom, we go to court the next day. I see the nigga. I had met this kid before. I met this nigga before at one time. That's it. Boom. Long story short, we go to court. We both trying to figure out like how we co-defend this. I don't really know this nigga, so I'm not really telling him anything. We go to court, we get our discovery, which is like, discovery is all the evidence that they plan on using against you, right? So when I get to discovery, I get back to the jail, I go to the law library. They gave us a few CDs. So I plug the CDs in. I hear this nigga on the phone. He's being set up by the same nigga I was trying to rob. But when I tell you this story, this shit can be a movie. The same nigga I was trying to rob, he was extorting. He's on the phone, and the nigga he was extorting went to the police station and set him up. He's on the phone like, yo, I need this amount of bread or it's lit. So I guess the nigga gave him $750. So on September 28th, bro, coincidentally on my daughters, bro, the nigga tells him, yo, look, if I don't get another $750 by tomorrow, I'm sending niggas in your crib, break your brother's legs, do da 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 da. Bro, September 29th, me and the other nigga happen to go in this crib. Unbeknownst, I do not know this nigga. I do not know this is going on. It is literally the weirdest coincidence in history. So I'm putting two and two together. I'm like, okay, so that's how you're involved in this case. Who in their right mind would not think that you're, like, you know what I mean, that you're a part of this? So at first, me and his relationship was a little shaky. Of course, I understand. Like, he feels like he's there for no reason, and I should just be like, hey, he didn't do it. But nigga, I'm not saying that I did it at this point. Nigga, I'm fighting this case. How the fuck I'm gonna say you didn't do it? Or how can I say you weren't there if I'm saying I wasn't there? So I told that nigga, like, you gotta, you know what I mean, we gotta ride this out. Nigga, you was on that phone talking stupid and hot, and that nigga was lining you up. So we ended up becoming mad cool. We ended up joining the same hood, on some blood shit, whatever. Story for another day. So, yeah. Damn, how can I, because I'm trying to make this the last video. So, yeah, long story short, we both in there for mad long, and it ends up being 14 months, right? So now we're acting like we're gonna go to trial because they really don't have no evidence on it. This is a very important part. And I got the fucking paperwork over here. I just don't feel like going through it. Remember, I said that the kid, when he got shot, he was on the floor. He said, yo, Billy Gambino shot me. Billy Gambino did this to me. That is called a dying declaration, meaning if he would have died, that's the last thing he said. His in the courts, they think that's the truest form. Like, when you're about to die, like, what the fuck would you be lying about? So, number one, he said Billy Gambino shot me. The nigga wakes up from the coma a week later. They show him some pictures. He points out this Cody nigga, Tariq. So now, he's saying he shot him. So, yo, why did you say Billy Gambino? Oh, I thought I was going to die. That's the only name I knew. Okay. So now, he's proven to be not completely honest. Fast forward back to we go to the court, we having hearings. So his lawyer is debunking that. Like, yo, this guy said it was my client, then he said it was this guy. He doesn't know what the fuck happened. This case should be dismissed, da-da-da-da-da. Oh, they held that. Matter of fact, I forgot. They held that part out that he identified both of us, which is called a Brady violation. Look at me getting all in the law and shit. They held that part out. So our lawyers tried to get the case dismissed on a Brady violation. They wasn't jacking that shit. They gave us a little bit of leeway. So we've been in there 14 months. This nigga has 3 whole different cases. He was charged with attempt murder on this case because they never charged me with the shooting. They only charged me with burglary and a bunch of others, guns and all types of shit. But his top count was attempt murder. Then he had 2 robberies and another attempt murder on his. So he was in there for fighting 3 different cases. So after the hearing, we ended up going to the law library. So I'm really thinking like, yo, bro, they offering me 5 right now. This is my first felony as an adult. I'm like, yo, I ain't gonna lie, I might take this shit, bro. So he's on some shit like, yo. No, matter of fact, I'm on some shit like, yo, I might go to trial. He's like, yo, gang, he tells me everything I just said, like, yo, this your first. You already got 14 months in, you might as well just take the 5. So I kind of bluffed him one more time, like, yo, nah, we go to another hearing. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I told my lawyer, I'm going to take the 5. Takes the 5, right? He ends up copping out to 13 years with all his cases ran concurrent. And the nigga was not there, bro. I felt bad, but it's like, what can you do, bro? The plan was, yo, when I cop out, I'm going to say that you weren't involved. I don't know who else was involved, but it wasn't him. But he ended up copping out before me, so it is what it is. Can't blame me. But me and him, we still cool to this day. Shout out to Tariq from Power. And the real nigga I was with is running around the streets safe. I got to do another story on him. That nigga ain't never do nothing for me. I seen that nigga 2 times since. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's my job not to tell. Like, I don't want a reward for not telling, but come on, my nigga. Like, you fucked my life up by pulling that trigger. We could have beat him up, and that's it. You didn't even have to do that, but whatever. So, yeah, that's how I ended up doing 5 years in a New York State prison. I went in the county. I went to jail October 7th, 2015. I came home January 9th, 2020. I went from Nassau County, downstate, and then to Bear Hill Correctional Facility. I did two, basically, when you do 5, you do 4 years and 3 months, right? On a state bid in New York. So I basically did like 2 and 2, 2 in the county, 2 up north. And, you know, I had a few run-ins up there, but that's basically everything in a nutshell. There's a lot deeper to it, but I'm trying to just wrap this up into part 3. So, yeah, that's how it all happened.